Hello Pisces, my name's Jason. Thank you for visiting my channel. Extra thanks if you're revisiting my channel. This is your general tarot reading for the second half of December 2018. So it will take you anywhere from the middle of December into the new year. I'll try and get another reading out around Christmas time for you as well. Now this reading could be about love, career, any projects you've got on, questions which are at the forefront of your mind, or events which are at the forefront of your mind. You'll know if it's resonating within the first couple of minutes. If it's not resonating, then try your rising sign, your moon sign, or by all means go and check out another reader, and I'd really appreciate it if you come back another time, because that might be spot on for you. Okay, so Pisces, let's have a look at the energy you're heading into the second half of December with, and you have the Eight of Shields, okay, the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles talks about work, all right? Perhaps you've been working at something and you're starting to feel it's a little bit tedious, okay? So you're pretty good at it now. You've done it before, you could do it again, but it's about time. Perhaps it's quite often called the apprentice card, where you want to move forward a bit more quickly than you are. So the apprentice quite often gets stuck with sweeping the floors and cleaning the toilets in say, a factory, and you're just about ready to move on from that, okay? But you can do this work. You're quite competent at it, okay? But perhaps you're finding it just a little bit tedious towards the end of the year, okay? Or perhaps you've just been so busy, Pisces, at the end of the year with a Christmas rush or whatever, that you may not be enjoying what you're doing so much. Now your challenge for the end of the year, you have the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords talks about taking a rest and reflecting on how far you've come, okay? And it's going to take some honest reflection as well. So this card reminds me of the story of the knights when they would come back from battle, and they would lay in a coffin and they would reflect on the battle, and that could have been them that was slain and laying in a coffin dead. And so what you're being asked to do here is, after this period of work, is to just reflect a little bit and, you know, ask yourself if you've done the best you could. Are you in the right place? And it's also asking about giving thanks, okay? So if you're grateful for what you have achieved and where you are, this is a really good time for you to give thanks to that, okay? And so thank Spirit for what you have, okay? But some of you may be feeling that that's a challenge at the moment, whether it's a challenge because you can't find the time or you can't find the mental space, perhaps. At least give yourself a break, okay? Let your mind just rest for a little while. Now, in your hopes and fears position, you have the Queen of Swords, okay? So the Queen of Swords is a very strong communicator. She is a woman usually who says it like it is. Quite often she's been around the block a few times and she knows what's what, and she doesn't mince words. And perhaps you're waiting for a message from this person about perhaps whether you've got a job for next year, or whether the work that you've been doing is up to standard or not, and you're a little bit intimidated by this person and what they might be saying to you, or what they might say about you even, okay? Perhaps you've been asking, perhaps you need to ask this person for a reference or something like that. Either way, she's a straightforward energy, and she'll tell you the truth, okay? So either way, you know, don't be afraid of the truth, even if it's said to you quite harshly. But again, look, this is just a fear. It's just a fear that she might have some harsh words for you. But I don't know why I'm reminded, it's just like pulling off a Band-Aid. You know, if you try and pick it off slowly, it's just going to keep hurting. Whereas the Queen of Swords, you just come along and rip the Band-Aid off straight away, and you're all good after the initial shock of it all. And that's what I don't know why I thought of that example, but that's what I got from the Queen of Swords in this situation here. Now, in your best attitude position, you have the Eight of Cauldrons, okay? So you've got to be prepared to walk away. So whatever this work is now that you've done, so you've got the Eight of Shields, and now you've got the Eight of Cups here. And the best attitude to take, according to the cards, is you've just valued yourself and you are ready to walk away. Now, it doesn't say walk away, it says be ready to walk away. So if you're not feeling that you have your just rewards from all this work that you've done, or that you haven't really been fulfilled, then you should be prepared to walk away and find something else, okay? Because it's looking like there's an unbalanced situation there, and this person's okay to just walk off. They don't have to make a big song and dance about it. They just need to decide, well, if I'm not getting what I want here, if I'm not being valued here, then I'll value myself and I'll walk on and I can make my own way. Okay, so it's quite a strong card. I always think of a newfound independence, a newfound strength when I think of the Eight of Cups. And so this is what you're being asked to do here. Really back yourself and say, listen, I don't have to cop this if it's not working for me. Okay, so that's what we've got there, Pisces, for that. Now, for your outcome at the end of the month, Pisces, you have the Two of Swords. So there'll be a decision that you'll be called on to make. You might not be looking forward to this decision. You don't have all the information. You see how this woman here is blindfolded. She's got those swords crossed against her chest. She's protecting herself. So she knows she eventually has to drop her arms to make a decision, or at least let her guard down a little bit, one way or the other, and even though she doesn't have all the information that she might want. Okay, so at the end of all this, it looks like you're being asked to be ready to walk away if you don't get what you want. So it looks to me like you've done the work, okay? You might be getting a little bit bored with it. You're feeling like you need to go up another step, whether it's a pay rise for all the good work you've done. And then really think about your situation here. Be grateful for what you have, by all means. And when you're grateful for what you have done and what you have achieved, then you're going to be able to feel a lot better about moving forward, no matter what the situation is, okay? As long as you are grateful for the position that you have, or the job that you have, or the lifestyle that you have, okay? And because you've got this Eight of Cups here, and you're being asked to make sure that you value yourself, let's have a look and see. Anyway, we'll go around and clarify what's on the board here. So the Eight of Shields. Why is the Eight of Shields here? What kind of message do we have here for Pisces? Why is the Eight of Shields here for Pisces at the beginning of December? Okay. Eight of Pentacles, just work, work, work. When will it all end? You know you've got to do this work, you've got to do something. It might just be getting a bit too much for you. Okay. And you've got here the Ace of Wands. So you're hoping that this is going to allow you a new start in something. So you've been working towards a new business, or setting yourself up in business, or a new position somewhere. So the Ace of Wands is a fiery energy, and it's about new starts, usually to do with work or vocation, or it could even be a creative endeavor. Okay, and you've been putting some work in, Pisces, and it looks like you're expecting a return on that, as though it's going to give you a new start for something. So you haven't been doing it for nothing. Okay, now let's have a look. Why is the Four of Swords here in the challenge position? What else do we have in the challenge position for Pisces and Four of Swords? Why is that Four of Swords there? Okay, and you have the Page of Shields. This card has come up so much. The Page of Shields is like a small offer. Okay, it's an offer to do with something to do with work or money or material things. And so you may be getting an offer which is smaller than you've expected, but it's an offer nonetheless. So it might be that's what you need to reflect on. Should you take this offer or not? Okay, and because you had the Two of Wands, Two of Swords here as well, that could be weighing on your mind, and you'll be going into perhaps the new year wondering whether you should take this small offer or really value yourself and fight for something more, or just move on. So it's all sort of adding up for me here. The Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords to me is saying that there could be a strong female who is making a decision or is communicating something to you. And it could be an appraisal of your work. It could be just delivering the message in quite a blunt way. Why is the Queen of Swords here in the fears position, in the hopes and fears position for Pisces? Just got to wait for these cards to come out. Sometimes you just got to wait and wait and wait. They're shuffling so beautifully, these cards. They're really nice cards, the Celtic Tarot they are. Okay, and you have the Five of Shields. So you're worried that whatever this message which is brought by the Queen of Swords here, you're worried that it's going to be leaving you out in the cold, okay? And I'm not feeling... Well, I might try and clarify that one more time. So it's looking like you're ready to move on, and well, actually, it doesn't say that you're ready to move on. It's going to be a challenge for you to accept this offer. And the Queen of Swords, you're worried that the message she brings you may leave you feeling out in the cold. And so it's going to be up to you to decide whether to value yourself and say, no, I'll go out on my own, which is what that Ace of Wands was all about. Let's have a look here. Why is the Eight of Cauldrons here? Why is the Eight of Cauldrons here for Pisces at the end of the year, 2018? That one wanted to come out. Let's have a look. Okay, the Hierophant. So this is the Druid, which is the Hierophant in the traditional deck. So it's looking like there's some conventional way of doing things, following a process, following the rules. And so this is in your best attitude position. So if you do decide to walk away, make sure you do it through the right channels. That's what I'm getting there. Because the Hierophant represents religion, churches, large institutions, rules and policies, contracts perhaps, you're being asked to just make sure that they're all honoured, okay? And that's what I'm seeing there, but I'm really seeing value yourself, okay? If you're the Hierophant is also a teacher, so perhaps you're thinking of going into some kind of teaching for yourself, okay? So you might be walking away from a situation which hasn't served you, and you've thought, well, listen, I've done this apprenticeship now, I'm going off on my own business. And that's pretty promising, really. And so you've got this Two of Swords here in the outcome position, so you've got this decision to make at the end of the year, the end of December. Please clarify the Two of Swords for Pisces. Let's clarify the Two of Swords for Pisces at the end of the year, 2018. Okay, and you have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this queen is probably my favourite queen. She's across everything, okay? So she runs a happy home. She's very efficient. She's successful. She's well respected. And she's generally fairly well organised in the job. And she knows how to do things methodically, okay? But with a good dose of intuition as well. So she brings a real feminine quality to the generally boring pentacle kind of energy. So because this is in the outcome position for you, I'm thinking it's saying that you're going to go with the slow and steady kind of way, so which ties in well with the Hierophant kind of energy. And so you've got this Two of Swords here. You've needed to make a decision, and the decision seems to be to go with the steady energy of the Pentacles, okay? I'd like to clarify that just a little more. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here for Pisces at the end of the year in the outcome position? And you have the Page of Swords, okay? So the Page of Swords is about communicating, telling someone like it is. it's not necessarily good news. So you'll be being, or the outcome is that you'll be getting some news here, which it'll just be quite a short message perhaps. It might not be very welcome. It's not necessarily unwelcome, but it's not necessarily good news or bad news either. Okay, but there'll be some kind of news which will come, which will, again, have you in this position of just still not being able to make a decision. Okay, and maybe this Queen of Pentacles here, I can't figure out why she's there. I'm thinking that's because that's where you're being encouraged to go to. So, or the attitude you need to take. Let me just clarify this again. So there's definitely some message coming in which is going to help clarify things for you, but it won't be much. There's a couple of pages here. So you've got the Page of Shields, which will be like an offer. And then you've got this Page of Swords, which is like a message. Perhaps someone is like spying on you, or you'll be spying on someone else, looking to see, maybe doing some research into someone. Let's have a look. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here? Okay, and you have the Five of Cauldrons. So it looks like you've got to try and get out of this energy of looking at the past and moving forward, turning around, seeing those two full cups behind you. Take those, and they'll connect you over the river to the castle in the distance. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling there for that. Look, hopefully that makes sense for you, Pisces. And it looks like some decisions to make, but it's looking like going into the new year, you'll have some decisions which will carry you forward using all the skills that you've learned throughout 2018. So you're in a pretty strong position, really, if you think about it. So please let me know how that's resonated for you, Pisces. Like and subscribe, and any positive feedback you can give me, it's more than welcome. I'll try and get another reading out for Christmas. Until then, please enjoy life.